somebody needs to pay for all my children and mine and Gary, all our suffering, all our pain. Somebody needs to be held accountable, and they need to pay.
Hey guys, and welcome back for the rest of this Kevin Samuels weirdo IG live conversation, okay? Where this woman feels as though some man is just supposed to come in and love her and her children and not expect any more children and pay for everything in this lollipop Wizard of Oz land. She better click her heels together because Dorothy, this is not about to ever happen. But anyway, what do I want out of life? A wife, preferably one that already has children. No, that's never gonna happen. That's just not a possible scenario. Let's go ahead and get back to this story.
What he should, a man to man conversation, like, hey, I know these are your children. Like, however, I would like to marry her. And
so in other words, I got to go to another man to ask him to be a man in my own house?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
What boundaries?
You financial boundaries.
Okay, financial boundaries. I don't need to. Okay, man, hold on. I don't need to have any conversation with that man about boundaries in my house.
You absolutely right. However, I do still believe that a conversation should be had about, like, like, this is my wife. I'm going to take care of our household. However, like, these are still your children. So I don't expect for you to lack in any responsibility.
What do you mean?
But they're your children. As far as the children go.
So give me an example. I don't know what that means.
So, like,
that means he can make rules in my house?
No, I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is, when it comes, if me and my future husband, who I did not bear children with, decides to marry me and, we do this whole thing, then I feel as though the conversation needs to happen between my future husband and my kids' father.
What's the conversation, though, between the men?
The conversation should be, future husband should say, I know that I am marrying into this, this situation that you guys have going on. However, like, I don't expect for you to lack just because
you keep saying the same thing. It's not any more clear. What does lack mean? What does that mean?
Like, I don't expect for you to fall short on taking care of your responsibilities.
Fall short meaning what?
Children.
Fall short meaning what?
It could be, like I said, financially. It could be as far as, like, weekend pickups and stuff like that.
Hold on. Man, don't get upset that you're not making it clear. Fall short, you mean the child support he's paying?
It could be that, yes.
Then what else?
It could be something as simple as, like, weekend visitations or something like that.
That's set by the court.
Huh?
That's set by the court.
I know, but would you want...
Yeah, I'm just going to stop it real quick. I don't really understand her whole point in feeling as though the future husband and her ex ever need to have a conversation. Like, unless she's unable to talk, they really don't ever have a reason to meet. They really have no reason to ever interact. As long as he's paying you the child support that you bring into the household and take care of those kids with, they have no reason to meet at all. In fact, even if he wasn't paying child support, like he just said, you would have to go to court.
I wouldn't want my future husband to be like, okay, now that I'm your husband and these are my stepchildren, they can no longer see their father. Like,
that's a court order.
I understand that. But what I'm saying...
That's not how men move. There's a court order. You paying child support, his visitation. Take your kids. Bye.
Yeah, but I still believe as though it's out of respect, though. Like,
but out of respect to what?
That's the kid's father.
And this is why y'all need to marry y'all's children's father, because you want two men to come to an agreement on how to be men, because you could not sit your hot ass down and marry somebody and be a wife. I'm supposed to have to talk to this man about how I'm going to be a man in my own house. No. Fuck no.
That's not what I'm trying
to say. The kids
are
in the house. Can I, if I'm your husband, can I discipline the children like they're my own since I got to pay for them?
Yes.
I can whoop their ass?
Yes.
Do I need to get your permission?
No.
Do I need to get his permission?
Wife.
Do I need to get his permission?
No.
Then what else do they talk about? Because the problems don't tend to be between men. The problems tend to be between the woman being in the middle. See, when men tend to talk, we tend to work it out because as long as you take care of your kids, because he ain't trying to, first off, anybody stepping into this would be, no offense, man, they're not getting a kid in the matter. So if they're stepping into this and they're paying more than 20%, they're getting screwed. You should have the financial, those children that you chose to make should be self-sustaining by the man you chose to make them with. The man you choose to get with, because he's getting no kids, at best you have to pay 20% of 20% of the lights, mortgage, gas, utilities, groceries, whatever, and whatever. And if that's not y'all don't seem to understand that men are not raising nobody else's kids. And this is in Black America in particular. Black women have gotten to the point to where you guys almost expect black men to just be stepdaddies. And when we tell you to no, y'all are like, what? What? All our kids are out of wedlock. We didn't say we want this shit. I mean, what's the next highest out of wedlock group? Other women know to marry their children's father. The next lowest married group is white women at 54%. They're twice as married as you guys. And you got all these kids and they'll say, well, the man didn't ask. Do you make room for the possibility, ma'am, that you're going to die unmarried?
I have I've thought about it a time or two.
Okay. Well, that's far more likely.
Boy, that is a big pill to swallow right there. And it really does make you think, like, why in our culture are we like that? Like, it's definitely not all, but I myself fall into the category. And so I'm technically a statistic. I'm an unmarried black woman with a child. Now, granted, I am engaged to somebody now currently, but I'm just saying that it's one of those things where I can't sit back in judgment and not self-reflect a little bit and understand that, yeah, I had a kid before I was married. And why did I do that? Why did I feel like it was just okay? And now I'm looking at it like, heck no, I'm not doing it again. Because now I'm in this position where it's like my eyes are open to the opportunities that may have been, doors that may have been shut, because I have a child now. Like, I mean, let's just be honest. Not too long ago, I was in the modeling game. And ever since I told some of the people that I was working with that I was pregnant and stuff, it's like I haven't heard back from them. So I definitely am sure that, having a kid now and not being married, there's a huge responsibility on me running a household and having a daughter. So it's like, why are we as black women so accepting of that? And what made us this way? It's a really good question and something to really think about, because I can't honestly answer that right now.
Especially with today, men are not signing up to be stepfathers, because I'm going to ask you, what is the advantage for a childless man to come in to be a stepfather in a situation like yours or just in general? What's the advantage to the man?
Well, some men do want kids, but maybe...
Yeah, they want their own children.
Right, but what if they can't have them?
Most men want their own children. So we're going to go with the case. That's just like saying overweight women got thyroid. Stick to the norm. What's the advantage for a man to walk into your family with another man? What's the advantage to him? See, that side, gentlemen, that side was that side of there ain't one. And they don't want to say it because they love their kids. I get it. But there is no advantage. Matter of fact, stepfathers are looked at as suckers today. You know why?
You think so?
Yeah, because that's the way women have made it. When I was coming up, stepfathers were at least respected in the community. Today, stepfathers looked at as suckers. And it's not because men have changed, it's because of the way women look at men and treat men have changed.
I never looked at it that way.
I get it.
Being a sucker.
But okay, what's the advantage in what is the advantage of being a stepfather? And no, it's like, what's the advantage? Do you think stepfathers are respected today in the Black community?
Yeah, I don't think they're being looked at as no suckers though. Like, I mean, no, yeah, yes. I'm gonna stand strong and firm
You
on
can
that.
stand
Yes.
strong.
He chose the worst person in the world to answer that question. To be honest, I personally, because of the situation I'm in, maybe, I don't know, but I would never look at a man who was willing to accept my child as a sucker. I actually view somebody like that as a beautiful person, somebody with a big open heart and a lot of love to give. And that's something that I find admirable. I look at it as the more people around, just the more love that I can share. I don't know. This lady right here, she can't be an advocate for like step parent conversations because she's just too immature. You can see it in the way she's just like, yeah, well, yeah. Like, dude, just stop.
I'm gonna firm on that, but then I want you to go ask 100 Black men who are stepfathers, and then get their answers. And I'm gonna tell you, as a Black man who was one, I'm gonna tell you it's not. It's a thankless job because the child knows that you have no real power. The woman knows that those kids are hers, and at any time, she can choose to change things up. Men are just acknowledging them.
But that's why a
We're not.
conversation. That's exactly going back to the point. Like a conversation needs to be had.
No, the conversation needs to be had. Yeah, here's the conversation. You go complete the family you started. That's the conversations that need to be had in the Black community. You go get back with your man you made these babies with, and y'all gone off and get out of here. Let the single people get together. That's the conversation we need to have in the Black community. Finish the family you started.
I get that too. That is a real like conversation.
That's not a tool. That's the only way, because here's the next part. Here's the punchline. Go in my scenario where if you don't find a man who wants to marry you, are you making 3 times the amount a man makes? Because you got 3 kids. See, normally you need to make at least what you need to have what a woman is making, what a man is making. But with 3 kids, you need to make 3 times that. Are you making over $110,000 a year?
Not yet.
Okay. How much at age 65, when you hit retirement age? How much cash do you need to live between 65 and 85?
How much cash would I need?
Mm-hmm. How much money we need to survive for 20 years, 65 to 85? What do you think? Just ballpark.
I don't honestly know.
Just ballpark. 20 years. What do you think?
Probably around like maybe like 75K. I'm just playing. I don't know.
75,000?
Yeah, about that.
Okay, 75,000 for 20 years is 3,000, less than $4,000 a year. That's $400 a month.
Oh no.
Yeah. How much you gonna need to live for 20 years?
I'm not sure. You give me your ballpark.
Oh well, no man. This is your life. This is your life. This is your life.
All right, we can take it up to like 400K.
Ma'am, you're gonna need about 1.9 million.
Not millions.
elderly care costs, man. You got to pay mortgage. You got to pay utilities. You got to pay health care.
I wouldn't say all of that, because let's just hope that by the time you're 65, whatever mortgage you have is paid off. Wherever you work or wherever you're at, they have excellent health insurance. And by the time you retire, you'll have saved up enough and you'll have the ability to pay for more. And then you will qualify for Medicare and AARP and all those other programs that help out elderly folks. But makes me really think about my future and making sure that I save, and invest in different opportunities and stocks that will help multiply my money.
You got to pay food, life costs, elder care costs. It just gets expensive to age. So that's my point. So as a woman, you're not even thinking about how much money it's going to cost when you can no longer work. When you physically can't work anymore. So it's like, well, I mean, $75,000. No, millions. You're going, and who's going to pay that? You didn't work with a man to share the resources, to share the load, to invest, to get life insurance and all that stuff. You're choosing to be a single woman with 3 children. That means you got to be choosing to make $110,000+ a year and then saving that just to break even. So tell me how not getting married is an option. This is what I guess what I'm trying to get a lot of women to understand. Your life is a ticking time bomb. This is what happened.
Okay, I'm just gonna say something really quick, and we're gonna probably end this because this is going on too long, and I'm thinking like she's not even hearing or getting what he's saying, because she's just sitting there looking quite crazy. But anyway, I think what happens is a lot of the women, especially, in the Black community, they know that if they get pregnant and the dude they're with doesn't necessarily marry them, they're still gonna be fine, because we have a United States government bailout system that will take care of you if you are impoverished. And I'll never forget actually working at the post office with a young lady who isn't working there anymore, but she was working at that particular post office that I was at, and she actually wanted to keep her hours below a certain amount at the job. She only wanted to work so much, so she only made so much so that her rent would stay at a certain level because it was income based. So it's just like one of those things where it's like, some people are comfortable. Some people are comfortable living in bad neighborhoods. They're comfortable getting a check or something once a month and then being able to go to the store and buy a whole bunch of unhealthy processed stuff. And they know that if they get pregnant, it's just another check, whether it be from child support or from the government. I don't know. I'm to the point where I know what I want for my future. I know I messed up. Definitely not in the same situation with the majority of the people that are living in, rental situations or like living off of some kind of help or getting some type of food assistance or anything like that. Not bragging or anything, but just saying like, I'm not broke. So it's like, I really actually do have to pay attention to my funds and allocate them correctly. And like I said, invest in my future, because I don't want to be like the women that Kevin Samuels talks about who are on the streets and impoverished and can't afford their health care and this and that, because you never know what could happen. And you want to always have some type of insurance for yourself. So anyway, guys, I know this was painful to watch and hard to get through, but please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think and what you think I can improve on, what type of videos you would like to see in the future. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
This is what happens when you make all the babies and don't get married. Is this country set up for single people to retire on their own?
It's definitely not.
Well, then how do y'all think y'all gonna do I just don't want to think about it. I just don't want to think
I
about
mean,
it.
it is something to think about.
And then why don't you go back to your child's father and y'all just marry each other? Y'all started a family.
It can't just happen like that.
Well, then if you can't get
There
it,
has to be if that was an option for me, there would have to be a lot of counseling.
ma'am, I don't care what it would take. That's the family. Listen. This may sound cold, but ma'am, you got 3 kids. 1 out of 4 black women will marry in their lifetime, and you got 3 kids. So your chance is probably around about less than 10%, easy. Less than 10%. You don't want to have no more kids. I'm gonna say around about 5 to 7%. This is what you made, man. Counseling, I don't care. Counseling, you live in different parts of the house. Y'all better. He's paying rent, you paying rent. Y'all better figure something out because you got a whole lot of kids. I mean, that's just real talk, man. That's real talk. And see, it's sad that you got to have one man keep telling women this because where's your mother?
Around the corner.
Is she married?
She is.
To your father?
No, my father has passed away.
Okay. What is your mother? Is your mother encouraging you to get married? Nope.
She does, but
Did your mother teach you, were you raised to be a wife? Nope.
you don't know that.
Oh yeah, I do. Because if
Why?
you,
'Cause
you
I got
wouldn't,
kids.
ma'am, I do know because all I have to do is look at your situation. If you're raised to be a wife, you wouldn't have 3 children out of wedlock. That's no offense, man. That's any woman. Any woman that's raised to be a wife tends to get married because women who are raised to be wives are in high demand. We don't have enough wives for the husbands today. We got plenty of women who want to get married, but we don't have enough wives. Wives are in high demand. They get taken like this. Wives don't marry, and the wives don't have babies out of wedlock. Wives don't do 10-year relationships, 3-year, 5-year, 7-year relationships without wedding rings. They don't do none of that. Wives ain't on Instagram with their ass all out and different color weaves and long. Wives ain't doing none of that shit. Wives ain't got tattoos and fake floppy. Wives don't have none of that. Wives have none of that. Every time you see a woman, men know when they're looking at a wife. You're either a wife or it's everything else. And so when men come down to it. So good conversation though, man, but you and your man, y'all got a whole posse.
Not a posse.
They got a whole posse. Take it easy. Bye.
Alrighty.
They got a whole posse. Yeah, man. Wives don't have different color hair. Wives don't have tattoos all through here and around here and bull rings and raptor claws and in Atlanta. I am so sick of y'all with these goddamn snow.